The Parades is a newly released Japanese supernatural drama film on Netflix that aims to tell an emotional tale from a unique vantage point. The narrative revolves around Minako, a woman estranged from her young son Ryo following a catastrophic natural disaster, who embarks on a relentless quest to find him. Along her journey, Minako encounters extraordinary experiences and receives assistance from remarkable friends, though they are not entirely human. Ultimately, The Parades is a heartwarming film that unfolds at a leisurely pace, leaving a gentle, soothing impression on the viewer's mind. The Parades opens with an unconscious woman being swept by the sea waves, clearly in dire straits. After the waves subside, she awakens on the shore amidst scattered debris, having miraculously survived. However, the triumph of survival is not her primary concern, for she is immediately anxious about someone else. This woman is the film's protagonist, Minako, who realizes her beloved son Ryo is not by her side. Desperately, she searches the beach, calling out for Ryo, but receives no response. The debris scattered along the beach and in the sea indicates that an earthquake and subsequent tsunami have recently struck the coast, causing widespread devastation. Minako continues her frantic search for her son, attempting to seek help from nearby rescue workers, but to no avail. She runs to the emergency shelter set up nearby, but finds no trace of Ryo and no assistance from others. Everything seems eerily strange as no one acknowledges her presence, almost as if she doesn't exist. With no other option, Minako heads towards her home, which she shared with Ryo. The place has been destroyed, and the boy is nowhere to be found. Amongst the ruins, she discovers an old photograph of herself and Ryo from a previous visit to the beach. At this moment, she hears a man calling out to her, warning her to be careful. And as she turns, she sees him driving away in a white van. This is the first person in a while who directly speaks to Minako, prompting her to seek clarification about the strange situation. The young man introduces himself as Akira and soon takes Minako to a nearby spot. This place is warmly lit amidst an amusement park, which now serves as the home for a group of people. Minako is introduced to these individuals and is shocked to learn who they are. Akira and his friends reveal that Minako has died and is in the spirit world, where they all reside due to some regret or unfulfilled desire from their mortal lives. As the group explains Minako's situation, everything starts to make sense. She had been too deep in the sea at the film's beginning, making a miraculous recovery unlikely. Realizing she has been dead all along and merely a ghost wandering the streets and shelters explains why no one interacted with her. The spirits in the spirit world can see and walk through the living world but cannot interact or communicate with the living, rendering Minako invisible to everyone she sought help from. However, accepting her death is not easy, especially as it means she can never meet her son Ryo unless he too dies, which is an even more distressing thought. Minako spends her first few days alone, even though she takes shelter at the amusement park, in a room recently vacated by a spirit who moved on. During the day, she searches the town for any sign or proof of Ryo, but finds none. She attempts to gather information from her former workplace, a local news agency, but only finds her own name listed among the missing, with no mention of Ryo, possibly giving her hope that he is still alive. Back at her new home, she is irritated and angered by the other spirits' apparent indifference to their unfulfilled desires, and their lack of desire to move past the spirit realm. Minako is frustrated by the unity and camaraderie among the spirits, finding it absurd. Still grappling with the concept of her own death, she fails to see the purpose of such an existence. However, her perspective changes when she participates in the procession that occurs in the spirit world every full moon night. On these nights, the spirits walk together, hoping to meet their loved ones from their mortal lives. Such meetings happen when family members also pass away and join the spirit world. Minako is moved by the support and love the spirits show each other, compelling her to stay at the amusement park and seek help from her new friends to fulfill her desire. During her stay in the spirit world, and especially after befriending the other spirits, Minako learns the fundamental rules of this realm. Any human soul with regrets or unfulfilled desires from their mortal lives is transferred to this spirit world and can only move on when they have resolved their issues or attained mental peace and acceptance. For Minako, her primary concern is ensuring her son Ryo's safety and finding a way to reach out to him one last time to ease his future. Although she cannot find him, her search is aided by the other spirits. Kaori, a cheerful spirit, had died before her children grew up and always wished to see her daughter become a mother, wanting to be a grandmother. Though Kaori could not live to see this, she continually revisits her family and eventually witnesses her daughter giving birth. Akira, a shy and composed young man, wishes to document everything in the spirit world, revealing that his mortal regret was blaming his parents for his untimely illness, though they were helpless. Like Kaori, Akira visits his home and sees his elderly father writing a book about him, which gradually heals his pain and prepares him to leave the spirit world. Shori, with a tough exterior and a dark past as a former Yakuza member, longs to see his fiancée Mizuki move on from his death. He was killed due to his criminal involvement, and after 7 years in the spirit world, he wishes for Mizuki to overcome her grief and start anew. He eventually sees her find happiness with a new partner, making Shori the first in the group to permanently leave the spirit world. Similarly, Minako also achieves her desire to see Ryo one last time. One night, Michael announces that Ryo has been found, and all the spirits rush to the children's hospital where the boy is being treated. Ryo, still in shock and very ill, keeps calling out for his mother. When he is completely alone, Minako approaches him, comforting him one last time and apologizing for leaving him. Although Ryo does not see his mother, he feels her presence through flickering lights. The boy behaves as if he can see and hear her, as if it happens in a dream or imagination. Earlier, another young girl seemed to see Minako, suggesting that children in the parades can perceive spirits due to their vivid imagination and lack of inhibitions. This encounter heals both Ryo and Minako. The boy miraculously recovers the next morning, and Minako can finally leave the spirit world. Michael, the eldest spirit at the amusement park, initially appears to be a boastful character with little truth in his tall tales. However, his reason for remaining a spirit gradually unfolds. A devoted cinema lover, Michael was a film producer who was in the process of making a deeply personal film based on his youth during the student uprisings. He had been close friends with a man named Sasaki and a woman named Maiko, whom he loved but left to avoid further involvement in the protests. Maiko, heartbroken, married Sasaki but remained deeply in love with Michael. Over time, Michael realized his mistake and wanted to make a film about their youth as an apology to Maiko. He had promised Maiko the film, but died before completing it, causing him to linger as a spirit. Mizuki decides to help him fulfill this promise. Mizuki rallies the spirits to complete Michael's film, shifting the plot to 50 years later, where the protagonist is an old man. By this time, a young girl named Nana has joined the spirit world after attempting suicide due to bullying. Nana agrees to play the role of Michael's granddaughter, who takes Michael to Michael's grave. This fictional ending brings closure to Michael's unfulfilled romance. He then takes the film to Michael's home in Tokyo to meet Sasaki, who has passed away. Maiko, still alive and spending her days watching films alone, finally hears Michael's feelings. Although she cannot hear him, this encounter allows Michael to move on from the spirit world. At the end of the parades, a boy walks through Tokyo to a cafe where he meets Nana. This boy, a grown-up Ryo, indicates that years have passed and he is alive and well. Nana had woken up in the real world from a coma caused by her suicide attempt, remembering her experiences in the spirit world. Now a director, she debuts her first film, aptly titled The Parades, which tells the story we have been watching. Ryo, delighted, watches his mother's story unfold on screen. Nana had promised Mizuki to make her the protagonist in her film, and she has kept her word. Nana's film is dedicated to Michael, who inspired her love for cinema. In the end, each family member of the spirits looks up at the spots where their loved ones stood, showing they are still remembered and cherished. The amusement park and Michael's favorite cinema are shown in ruins, as the spirits have moved on. Thank you for watching our deep dive into the parades. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and leave a comment below with your thoughts. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. We appreciate your support and look forward to bringing you more reviews and insights. See you in the next video.